Why am I here again?
Do you know what time it is, Joe? Do you know? It's time to classify more Muppets. You didn't let me finish the PowerPoint. And just to be clear, PowerPoint's not going to finish today either. Okay? We got a lot to do. All right? There's a lot of Muppets.
As long as you know what I'm going to do during the entirety of this.
You're going to drink soda?
I'm going to rebel.
I think that's rebel.
Those are both spelled the same.
Yeah, but in my head, I feel like you're...
But in my head... Oh, so once again, we're at the whim of what you think and feel, instead of just blatant things in front of you.
Yeah, that's
the majority of this podcast.
That's how it works in here, like, all the time. I'm kind of at the whim of this flesh prison. So, let's get started, Joe.
Okay.
Baby Sinclair.
So to be clear, for those of you just joining us, once again, Eric is trying to convince me that things made by the Jim Henson Company that aren't Muppets or that are Muppets are in fact not Muppets and are this other thing called creatures because they have to, for some reason, separate them into weird camps. And I've already broken him a few times because everything he's brought up, because it's a dumb way to classify things. We're trying to actually break bigotry here. And I know it's a long-standing thing that he's just kind of grown up with. It's hard. It's hard. Maybe one day when someone realizes, not saying who, when someone realizes you don't need to put everything in a box and things can just exist, he'll get it. But we'll see.
It's the taxonomy of Muppets, and to be fair, the lines are
taxonomy. Not a great word for this, huh?
The lines.
Did you
I
know
will
the
agree
size, the you see the dimples in the skull is what I'm hearing, and
click the thing. Show me Baby Sinclair.
Baby Sinclair, not the mama.
Yeah, that's right, dude. I watched this show a lot as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
We got 3
that
facts
baby
for
is
each guy.
Pudgy as fuck. Now, everybody, I want you to realize that if Eric, can you be smile? Now, if we shaved Eric's head,
you know what? Maybe I could do that for Halloween.
Dude, that'd be like you're just in a yellow button-up shirt and diaper. I'll have
to get like paper mache fat rolls on my arms and legs, and wear an egg.
Get the Austin Power fat suit going on.
My wife would hate that if I did the voice all night. That'd be good.
All right, Baby Sinclair. He's able to speak at a very young age from birth. From fucking birth.
Yeah, he comes out and starts yelling about his dad.
Mm-hmm. Briefly named, I'm dying, you idiot. That's a bit. That's a bit. And was baptized. Yes, they did a dinosaur baptism. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dude, they also was a wild show.
They also we're gonna split the baby in half and give it to another. There's a bunch of weird episodes of the show. I love the show.
Why'd they get so biblical in dinosaurs?
Because it was the 90s?
It was a satire. It was a satire. It's a good
one,
too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Really just probably, had some high concept stuff for the age that I watched this at. Definitely.
I will say this. I don't know if you rewatched Dinosaurs as an adult. Give it a watch. It's good. It's still good, and there's a lot of stuff that I watched this as a kid.
Yeah.
This was able to air on Disney in the 90s?
Yeah, right.
We forget that Disney was actually really kind of trying to be super progressive in the 90s. There was what was that one movie about that African transfer student coming to America? You know what I'm talking about? She was like a posh, rich African,
I don't remember that one.
Not slave owner, but...
What? No,
there's a lot of that undertone and vibes. Anyway,
I don't remember.
We're getting off topic.
But I remember
Baby Sinclair, clearly a Muppet, clearly a baby.
No, okay. So first off,
You just did the Chewy thing that he does. Sorry.
but topic wise, I'll tell you what, man. This show deals with like brainwashing and heresy and fucking religious, stuff. It's nuts. But they classify this as creatures. Dinosaurs on the Muppet Wiki, at least, is classified as a creature show. And I would say that Baby Sinclair, yeah, he's like a little fleshy. We'll review the rules again right now. If you cut them, they bleed. That's a creature rule. If they
don't bleed.
Animatronics involved, that's a creature rule. And if they are supposed to replace something in the real world to represent an actual real thing. This is supposed to be a dinosaur. He's a funny little guy. He's a fleshy little guy. No animatronics as far as I can tell. But
Baby Sinclair has been kicked and launched across several, rooms.
Yeah, so...
No bruise, no blood, under your own rules.
And that's this. Okay, so this is why I started this with dinosaurs too, because I feel like dinosaurs is a real blurry line. Because one of the things that classifies a Muppet is that they don't abide by the regular laws of movement or physics. And I would say that sometimes Baby Sinclair does break those. Sometimes he does. Sometimes he does, and then I'm
all the time.
I don't know. I feel like definitely I've thought a lot about cutting into Baby Sinclair, and I feel like he would bleed.
He won't. You think a knife can pierce Baby Sinclair?
I wonder that about dinosaurs in general, How thick is their... I mean, their skin was thick. Mm-hmm. So, how thick?
I'm just saying Baby Sinclair is 100% Muppet.
I feel like he walks a line.
He doesn't walk a line because... Oh, so you mean... Eric? You mean to tell me that these blurred lines should just not exist, and you trying to put things into weird holes is dumb and bigoted?
I think that Robin Thicke got in trouble for blurring lines and putting things in weird holes.
Listen, he can't ruin the phrase "blurred lines" forever.
We got to reclaim that.
He hasn't been relevant in years.
He was
it
never
does not
relevant.
matter.
He wasn't even relevant when it was happening. He came out. Well, he didn't come out of nowhere because he's Alan Thicke's dad, the dad from Growing Pains. He's a nepo baby. We're not talking about that.
He's Alan Thicke's dad. Oh no!
Alan Thicke's son. Baby Sinclair walks a little bit of a line. I feel like it's going to get weirder with dinosaurs. We've got several dinosaurs here.
Clearly a Muppet.
I feel like Baby Sinclair will bleed.
No, he doesn't, though. There's actual proof of him getting launched and getting hurt and never bleeding.
I think that he's got eyes made of jelly. He's got like frozen grape eyes, like people do.
Those eyes, Eric, they don't. Only the eyelids change, not the eyes themselves. They don't widen or do anything else.
Yeah, but those eyes are meant to replace eyes in the real world.
They're not supposed to replace dinosaur eyes because those aren't dinosaur eyes, my dude.
Yeah, what is it? I mean, dinosaur eyes are definitely more reptilian than that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't fucking know what dinosaur eyes look like. We don't have an imprint of that on the dirt. Okay, they could look like that. Mm-hmm. They could have had baby blues. All the fucking T-Rexes could have had.
I need to carbon date these nuts before we go to the next slide. Okay, boom. Judge H.T. Stone. If you fucking tell me this motherfucker is... Why? Why is Harry Anderson here? From Night Court. Talks too quickly. Part of the Bureau of Government Retribution. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where it gets kind of dark with dinosaurs. Because
this man is so clearly a Muppet. Clearly a Muppet.
Right. Yes. Okay, so this is where I'm starting to get really confused, Joe. Because
Eric, I don't even think you see this guy's legs. He's clearly just a Muppet.
Yeah. So I think that we need to do some heavy revision on the Muppet Wiki, where we go character by character and define these things. It is not okay to just put dinosaurs in the creature pile, because maybe some of them are more creaturey. This guy, though, I don't feel like
you're gonna say maybe because creatures versus Muppets is a stupid idea, and we shouldn't try to
No, we must abide by
Separate
the
them.
rules that Jim Henson left us with. He didn't leave us with much. He left us with a bunch of
So we should
creatures.
always abide by the rules of older people from a long time ago who are no longer here and know the ways
In the case of
things.
Jim Henson, I would say, yeah. I would take Jim Henson's advice over
What would our
George
founding
Washington.
fathers do?
That's what it's funny I said George Washington as you said that. I would take Jim Henson's advice over George Washington any day. Any day.
Times don't change. People don't change. The
Henson
world doesn't change.
Was a better person than George Washington, 100%.
You don't know that. You 100%
George
don't
Washington
know
owned
that.
slaves. That is Jim Henson. No, George
He
Washington.
owned slaves in a time where that was a normal thing.
George Washington had lead in his teeth. He probably hit people for fun.
He had wood in his teeth. Actually, no,
Yeah,
that was
and
false,
lead.
wasn't it? The wooden teeth was false.
No, I think there's wood in there, but there's also lead. This guy is from an episode where they the daughter gets fucking accused of going against their religion, and she has to go to court. It's nuts.
Yeah.
But so here's the thing, right? I feel like this guy is not meant to replace a real dinosaur. Like, he does not look like... He looks like a Muppet, right?
None of these look like they're based on real dinosaurs anyway.
I don't know. Baby Sinclair looks like... I don't know what dinosaur he would be, like an Apatosaurus.
No! How's that an Apatosaurus?
Oh, no, they're like T-Rexes in the... No, but then there's like... But then, one of them is like a Triceratops. The daughter is a Triceratops.
The daughter is a different race, yeah. So,
the dad is a...
Is it race?
T-Rex
Species?
type?
Species. Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about
The
species.
dad is not a T-Rex. The dad is not a T-Rex.
What is he?
Fat.
Yeah,
he's the
just
Homer.
like
He's your typical fat American dad for the subcategory that is sitcom.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. But
He's
those
your
guys, I would
dinosaur
say,
Homer.
are more creaturey. But then also, think of Big Bird, right? Big Bird is definitely Muppety, but he's also
definitely
sort
a
of
Muppet.
standing at the same stature as the Sinclair family, and I don't know, man. I think this guy's a Muppet. I think this guy's a Muppet.
I also think he's a Muppet for different reasons, but yes, we can move on. Stu Boombird. Hey, was he the Heaven guy?
No,
No,
he was a TV executive.
Just a TV executive. Okay, high-ranking TV exec wishes people were stupider, only concerned about ratings. Muppet. No, you want from me?
See, I feel like this also is sort of similar to the judge in that I don't think you ever see his... Maybe you see his legs. But
Yeah,
he's
but you see Big Bird's legs. He's a Muppet.
But he's definitely a type of dinosaur than the judge. You know?
He's a Muppet. They're all Muppets.
I feel like maybe this guy's a little bit of a creature. I think that we should create a new term.
No, we shouldn't.
Called a cruppet.
No, I'm not doing that.
A meter?
No. Nope.
A meature?
No. He's a Muppet.
I think he's a cruppet.
How?
Because he definitely has a more representative face.
Of what?
The judge has a real cartoony, Muppety face.
You think this is not a cartoony face? Are you wild?
He looks more...
What?
He looks...
Look at his eyes!
He looks more like an Allosaurus, you know? I could look at him and be like, that's a fucking Allosaurus if I ever saw one. You know?
So, your stance was, we have to stick hardcore to what Jim Henson left us. What's a cruppet?
Well, you know how the Bible can be interpreted.
Oh my god.
And really, actually, you know what? I actually disagree with that hardcore. I think when the Bible gets interpreted, it gets really messy. So, you either stick to it 100% or you don't. But I don't know what to do anymore, Joe. I'm having a real crisis.
My liquor's empty. I'm
having a real religious crisis here, Joe.
He's a Muppet.
I think he's a cruppet. I made it up. I'm now the decider.
No, you're not.
Of the Henson rules.
Put a logo over his head. Bam, decider of the Henson rules. Put a logo over my head. Person who lives in the real world.
Yeah, let me into the studio.
The Wereman. That's just a man 3 times. Caveman version of Robbie Sinclair. Curse can be lifted by eating a bad baby dinosaur's toes or hit with a silver club. So Robbie Sinclair is the son of Earl Sinclair. Why do I still know their names?
Because you watched it as an adult at some point. It had to be more recent than me.
Good old Earl Sinclair. He bit by a caveman and then had the wereman curse? Was that it?
Yeah, I guess this was like the Halloween episode, and they were telling scary stories, and he gets bitten by a caveman. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's a man.
This is a man.
That's a man.
But he is a Henson creation. And so, I think this is decidedly a creature. That's a creature, if I ever saw one. He's supposed to be a man. He's supposed to represent a wereman.
That's just a man.
That's not just a man! I'm just a man! I'm just a man!
And if you grew your beard out, that would be you. So...
Oh no! Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
Am I the baby or am I the wereman, Joe? I can't be both.
You can be both, Eric. You know why? Because we're all the same, just trying to exist in this world.
Except for this wereman, he's a creature.
Weird classifications based on taxonomy.
He's a creature.
He's a man.
He's the very definition of a creature. Definitely, if you cut that guy, he would bleed.
Eric, man is actually in his name.
Yeah, that's why. He's meant to represent a man.
Actually, obviously he doesn't, because he does get hit on the head with a silver club and doesn't bleed to death everywhere.
I guess obviously they would do that instead of giving up baby Sinclair's toes.
So...
He bleeds everywhere? No, he does not.
No, he doesn't. Exactly. So therefore he's not.
Yeah, but if I tried, I feel like if I found this guy and tried...
It doesn't matter if you tried. It didn't happen. You dumb shit.
But it might. It might happen.
It's not. It doesn't. Because first off, he would kill you.
All right, this is an official public announcement. First off, Brian Henson, I'm sorry that I said that I don't like your ideas. Please let me in.
That's not true. He doesn't like your ideas, and he wants to take you down from the inside.
And if I meet you, don't let it be awkward. Second, Brian, please get the wereman actor to come to my house so I can cut him just a little bit. Thank you. That's all.
Next slide. The cookie creature. You can't tell me that's not a Muppet. Lives in the walls. Steals cookies from baby Sinclair. Needs to feed his babies. You can't tell me that's not a Muppet.
Yeah, and see, I'm not about to, honestly. I feel like... But, no, I don't know. His face has got, like, a real Dark Crystal vibe. You know?
Nothing. It does not replace anything in real life. It has a comical-ass face. And he's stealing cookies from baby Sinclair. That's a Muppet.
Well, it does replace real-life cookie creatures.
What's a Fraggle?
Fraggles are Muppets through and through. Fraggles are...
This is the prehistoric Fraggle.
Yeah, it kind of is, huh? But he's got a very defined face.
He does. It's not. That face doesn't exist in the real world.
I don't know, dude.
The only other time that face exists is on Smeagol.
I feel like I've seen a guy who looks like that. Like a human man who looks like that. You've seen him.
I've seen him?
Yeah, maybe.
A man who looks like this?
You're telling me that in your entire life you've never, like, in a mall seen a guy who looks like that.
No, look at those yellow-ass eyes.
Well, okay.
Where are we? What are we doing?
Jaundice aside.
Jaundice, that's the least of his problems.
I feel like, maybe you've seen a guy. And maybe you've seen a jaundiced gentleman who or maybe his liver is failing, you know, and he.
I went to the part of the show where Eric tries to gaslight me into
Joe, remember
taking
that
his
time?
side.
Remember that time that you saw that guy who needed a liver transplant and he looked exactly like this?
I was gonna say you look like this at 2 a.m. in the morning sometimes after a night of drinking and
Yeah,
hanging
that's
out.
probably because my liver is feeling it.
This is a Muppet. This is a pre-Fraggle.
I said creature. He's got creature in his name, dude. I didn't even address that. He's got creature in his name. He's a creature, dude. He's a creature.
Now you're just being contrarian to be contrarian.
Creature.
Eric, if you want me to take this seriously, you can't just attack me and change things.
When we came into the cookie creature, I thought probably a Muppet, but then I took another look at his face and I thought I've seen that guy at the mall before.
You have that doesn't. He's not supposed to replace that dude at the mall. He's supposed to be this non-existent thing who lives in the fucking wall apparently and has to feed cookies to his children.
I've seen him.
This is a Muppet. Fuck off. Cookiesaurus. What the fuck? Featured in Jurassic Cookie, brought to life from fossilized cookie crumbs. You didn't even do any of the other dinosaurs. Chased by Cookie Monster.
Oh, we'll get to it.
Is this CGI?
We just need a little variety. No, that's a puppet.
That is not a puppet.
I think it is.
How would they pilot the eyes at all?
Yeah, I don't know. Hold on, let me look up the clip.
Did you do research at this? Because I don't even know what I'm looking at here. Because you post one clear picture and two blurry pictures.
Yeah, I sure did. Let me see. I don't think he's CGI, but I didn't actually watch the clip that he's from. I just saw that there was another cookie themed monster, and I was like, "Oh, that's going next."
Someone with a fur.
Yeah. He's a puppet. I think.
Fervous belief, who didn't actually read or understand the source material, but saw something that could make it so to their side. Just posting it. Okay, cool.
I saw him move for a second. I feel like he's a puppet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a puppet. Oh yeah, that's a puppet.
Not a puppet.
It's 100% a puppet, dude. I don't know how they do that one, but
then it's a Muppet.
Yeah, I guess it appears on Sesame Street. It is not meant to represent something. I'd say it's a clear Muppet.
Clearly a Muppet. Are we good?
Yeah.
Anything else for me, motherfucker?
I got more for you. Trust me.
Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster is a Muppet. Why is this?
Cookie Monster's
Real name is Sid, a fan of the Chicago Cubs. Sorry. Also known as the Wheel Stealer. I didn't know he was known as the Wheel Stealer.
Yeah, that's what they called him before they named him. But I think the most interesting fact that I learned about Cookie Monster the other day is that Cookie Monster is like his addict name. It's like when you meet somebody whose name is like Screech, and it's just because he's done too much meth to like use his real name. You know what I mean?
No.
Like in Breaking Bad, there's that guy. His name's like Slim Jimmy or something. That's what Cookie Monster is.
White Boy Carl.
Yeah, it's like when you meet somebody and you're like, oh yeah, their whole personality is that they do drug, and you call them like, Slappy. That's Cookie Monster's real name is Sid. He had a life before the cookies.
Once upon a time, me and my best boy, he was trying to date this one girl, so we drove up to go meet her and her friend. And I entertain the other friend, right? That's kind of how that works, right?
Yeah.
As he's trying to talk to her. So we get there, we get introduced, girl he's interested, kind of a foreign name, but it's fine. She was a transfer student at the time. It's great. It's like, okay, cool, yada yada. Her friend, I'm Shadow.
I mean,
introduced herself as Shadow.
I mean, I've heard crazier things than that.
This was high school.
I feel like that has.
This was high school in 2008.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that was happening all the time. I feel like it's a little different when somebody else like when you go to a place and there's like a scale on the table, and there's a guy in the corner, and they're like, oh, this is Slip Ricky.
Yeah,
Would they
that's
introduce them?
that's better. That's better if they get introduced by someone else. When someone goes, "I'm Shadow."
Yeah,
I'm like,
but when they introduce themselves, I feel like that's a self-identifying thing, that is less drug related.
this wasn't like a changing like person kind of thing. This was a edgy, I'm gonna call myself Shadow thing.
Yeah.
That's
We went to high school with a person who called themselves Kibba, dude. What are you talking about?
that's right, Kiba.
What are you talking? That happened all the time. You're trying to
by the way,
define
it should
people
be
now,
Kiba.
Joe, and you're getting mad at
I'm
me
not.
about the Muppets.
Shut the fuck up and listen to me. Shut the fuck up and listen to me. I'm not defining anybody. I'm saying it's weird. I'm saying I was trying to relate to the Cookie Monster situation.
I disagree. I don't think it's weird. I think it's sad that Cookie Monster once had a life before cookies.
Well, that life before cookies, canonically, he was a thief. So, no, this is the best version of him. An addict who doesn't hurt other people, who only hurts himself.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, he's in a downward spiral, but he definitely is a Muppet. So I put this in here because we were on a cookie relate. What are you doing down there?
I'm ignoring you.
Are you looking up cookies? You better be looking up something Sesame Street related.
No, you see, I'm playing Pokemon Sleep. You see, I
oh
went
my
to
god,
sleep
you're still
early.
playing Pokemon Sleep. It's 2024, dude. Get with the times. It's over.
Oh, a lot of people are playing Pokemon Sleep.
Nobody's playing Pokemon Sleep. I guess.
Also, you have no right to tell anybody to get with any times. You're behind on everything by like 5 years.
That's not true.
That's 100% true.
I slap.
You're not hip. You do not slap.
I'm on fire.
None of those. All right. Okay.
I
Calm
fire.
down, Boomer. I'm gonna go to the next slide.
No, wait.
Forget a Fafnir.
Okay, we're going into the Ghost of. This is from the Ghost of Fafnir Hall. I put Cookie Monster before the Ghost of Fafnir Hall because I wanted to get a little bit of a checkpoint of like a real Muppet. Cookie Monster's a real. There's no doubt about the fact that he is a drug-addled Muppet. This. I don't know what this is, dude.
It's terrifying.
I don't know
This
what
is
this
terrifying.
is.
I mean, it's a Muppet, but.
Yeah, Ghost of Fafnir Hall I never watched, but it did remind me that as a kid
This was a show?
Yeah, I feel like the Henson stuff actually traumatized me more than it entertained me as a kid. I think I have more memories of Henson things being fucking terrifying than I do like good memories. But
I mean, I wasn't born when this came out.
what year was this? I don't even know off the top of my head.
89.
Okay, yeah. So we missed this one, thank God.
This is pure Muppet. This is Muppetry. This is Muppetry in action.
But I feel like, here's the thing. If you cut him, he wouldn't bleed because he's a ghost.
Why do you keep bringing that up when I've, like, he's a Muppet?
But I feel like if you went back in time before he died...
No one has that neck. No one has
Yeah.
that neck in the real world
But he's-
and that head.
I don't know, dude. I feel like I've seen this guy at a mall.
No, you haven't. You can't just keep using that as an excuse. You can't just keep using that.
I feel like
Shut
this
up.
guy did...
Shut up. Shut up. No.
I feel like I went into an H&R Block once, and that was the guy who was behind the desk. Was that guy.
It's
And I
tax
decided
season,
that he was
everybody.
not
Make
gonna
sure
do
you
my-
get started on your taxes. Do your best to try to do it yourself because fucking everybody's going to try and take money from you.
That's true. That is true. Fuck those companies. Fuck everybody involved with the taxes, dude. God.
It's
Anyway.
everybody. Everybody's involved with taxes.
We really need to do a phase cast just to get this out of our system so that we stay on topic when we're not doing it.
This is just bad. This is a Muppet. Like, I'm going to the next slide. It's a Muppet. Clearly, this is just a Muppet.
We're gonna be trapped in Fafner Hall for a hot second, Joe.
Oh, used to be in a gang? This man?
I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that's about. I've never watched The Ghost of Fafner Hall.
It's a
apparently
Muppet.
It's a musical education show. I like that they made his complexion bad, which I feel like definitely he's a creature because
He's a Muppet.
they gave him like inconsistent skin.
Wait, you think his complexion is bad? It's just he's got rosy cheeks and a red nose.
Yeah, but he's also got kind of like it looks like he's almost got like pockmarks in his cheeks and chin.
He's a redhead. They're called freckles. What are you fucking on about?
Okay, if they gave him freckles, he's a creature. That's a new rule that I made up.
No,
just now. If
that's...
a Muppet has freckles, it's a creature.
Eric, this is clearly a Muppet.
I say creature.
No one...
Hardcore creature.
I'm going to fly through this because we're at 30 minutes.
We're
Muppet.
not flying through anything.
The Belly Bashers. These are Muppets. They make music by bashing their bellies. They buy a man at an auction. What the fuck? Want to play at Fafner Hall. See, they exist in the same world as that guy. Muppets. These are Muppets.
That seems like a Muppet to me.
Tootie. Tootie's a Muppet. This Muppet-ass motherfucker is a monster, has the hiccups, and performs the song Your Feet's Too Big.
All right, so hold on. Slow it down.
We can't hold on. We're not slowing down. It's 31 minutes, 42 seconds.
Joe, we're not going to get through this whole PowerPoint probably. It's okay. We got time.
Muppet. The Gargles. Same picture 3 times again. Classic Eric. Part-time garglers. Part-time dentist. An addition for the Festival of Sounds. Muppets.
What are you doing, Joe?
Gargles. Part-time garglers. Part-time dentist. An addition... Muppets.
That was a
Horton.
mistake.
Horton and the Hornets. You're My Baby. Horton has a hit. Turtle Tone Records. Are these all the same version of Horton? Hotel manager, musician, elephant. Well, this Horton is clearly Horton the Muppet.
So let me say something about the Wobulous World of Dr. Seuss. Did you know?
3 minutes.
Joe, just take it here. I need you to take a deep breath, Joe. We're gonna be okay.
No.
I
ain't doing an hour-long video of this.
What? Why not? Give me 3 good reasons why not.
You got 2 minutes now.
The Wobulous World of Dr. Seuss started in 1996, which is interesting because I feel like then I was like the perfect age to be fucking obsessed with this show, but I never really watched it. I don't know. I don't know why. Did you watch it?
This is giving... I looked up a recipe online, and now I have to read this bullshit story before I get your opinion.
Dude, I hate that shit. Why
yeah, I know.
Well, so Horton is, I feel like, very Muppet. I would say
he's a Muppet. That's a Muppet.
He's 100% a Muppet.
That's a Muppet.
I feel like, yeah, I agree with that.
This version of Horton is a Muppet. Yertle the Turtle. Dude, Yertle, my homie, he is a Muppet. A tyrannical king? Maybe. Lust for power? Probably. Insecure? Most people who have power and have to hold on to it and have to make that decision and want to not lose it, Eric, are. So,
you know, I feel like you could probably pull off Yertle the Turtle for Halloween. Do this. Go.
I've been a turtle before.
Do a Mitch McConnell face. Dude, that looks exactly like Mitch McConnell. Yeah, Yertle's a Muppet. Yertle's definitely a Muppet. Look at how Muppety he is. He's dooting around on the table. He's dancing on the table.
Yeah.
Were you full Mitchin over there?
I was full Mitchin. I was having a stroke. Fuck. Oh, the thing that claps.
All right, we're back to the Ghost of Fafner Hall now.
That's the thing. That's not what they are.
That's the thing that claps. Listen, all right, so when I Googled the thing that claps for more pictures, that's what came up, okay? And it is a thing that claps.
Buys Farkas Fafnir claps. That's just hands? Giant furry hands?
That's the remember the Belly Bashers bought a man. It was Farkas Fafnir. They bought him in auction. And it is just giant hands. So this is a real... I feel like this is a creature, 100%, because it's just a man's hands. That's a man, Joe. You're the one who keeps bringing it up. That's a man. That's a man.
I don't see the rest of the body. That's not a man.
I know, but it's a creature then, because he's like a creaturey man. He's the thing that claps, and he goes...
He's a Muppet. And with that, that's all the time we have for today, everybody.
It is?
It is. It's 35 minutes. It's been 35 fucking minutes. Hard stop on this, buddy. Thank you, everybody, for spending some of your time with us and this weird dive. And this is my life now. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.